Hey everyone, I'm coming back with doing a product review using Haus Labs cosmetics. And as you know, Haus Labs is a cosmetic brand that is endorsed by Lady Gaga, and I will be using their setting powder today in golden and translucent. And during this video, I will be airbrushing my makeup using Tim 2 and MAC products. So before applying my foundation, I color correct and set my color correction prior to applying the airbrush foundation. So before I apply the airbrush foundation, I do color correct to cover up my dark circles and fine lines. And the product that I choose to use for color correction is Kryolan. The reason being is that their brand recognition, they're known for their special effects makeup and having waterproof products. So I'm using the Kryolan Color Corrector palette and the Kryolan's translucent powder. And then I go in with my airbrush foundation, which I'm using MAC Cosmetics and Temp 2. So as I mentioned in a previous video, airbrush makeup is the technique of using air to apply foundation. Now you can airbrush your eyeshadows, your eyebrows, and eyeliner as well. So in this video, I'll be airbrushing my eyebrows and my foundation. Now the coverage intensity depends on a couple of factors. One, the proximity of the gun to your skin. Two, the amount of pressure that you apply on the airbrush gun. So if you press on it, if you pull back and press hard on it, more product will come out. If you put less pressure and you don't pull back as hard, it'll be less product coming out of the airbrush gun. Third, if you're using an airbrush machine like I am, the air pressure gauge also influences the intensity of the air entering to the airbrush gun and the product. And the last item you need to keep in mind is that you apply airbrush in layers. So the amount of layers also determines the coverage level that you are having. More layers means more coverage. And typically airbrush foundation dries maybe a shade darker. So between each layer, you should let it dry. You can use the airbrush machine to only pump out air, not product, to have it dry faster to see how the foundation is actually setting on your skin. So usually 1 to 2 layers or maybe 3 or 4 layers is enough. As you can see in the previous, my left side of my face had a foundation and it matched my skin versus the right side, which still had the color corrector. And now I'm going in with my contour color, which I'm contouring the perimeters of my face and around the bridge of my nose and under my eyebrows. And typically you would want to have on your side either a makeup sponge or a brush to help with the buffing of the foundation. I will say that it is much easier to airbrush eyebrows on another person than it is on yourself. As you can see, I'm trying to hold the stencil in a way that, one, I can still see what I'm doing in the mirror, but also have it placed to where I want the product to be applied on my eyebrows. So off camera, I did have to do some corrections with concealer and using an angle brush to fill in any blank spaces. Then I went in with the Haus Labs setting powder in golden and translucent. So first I put the golden powder first under my eyelids and on the bridge of my nose and my forehead. So those are the areas I would want to highlight on my face. And then I went in with Haus Labs setting powder in translucent to help carve out certain features that I want more pronounced. So I put it under my eyes to catch any fallout from eyeshadow and mascara that I place on my lower eyelids, and then around my jaw lines to give the illusion of a higher cheekbone. Since we are using airbrush foundation, you do not need to bake the setting powder into your skin as you would with traditional makeup. 3 to 5 seconds, maybe no more than 2 minutes is needed because airbrush foundation itself presets itself. So that's one of the perks of using airbrush makeup. So this is how the makeup looked after I buffed out the translucent powder with some contour powder to give my face a little bit more definition. It looked very well in photos. I didn't have that under eye flashback that most setting powders would do. And I tested out because I went out during that evening, and here is how it turns out at 1 o'clock in the morning.
Okay, since I don't have the filter on, um, the setting powder from Haus Labs kind of held up. In addition to the Kryolan setting spray, that spray is amazing. Let me tell you, I haven't tried to go underwater with it, but it sets. I mean, it sets well. So Haus Labs on top of that with the Kryolan filter, yeah, I think it's pretty. This is a close up of my face. I mean, yeah, Lady Gaga, you did your thing.